What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. Sorry if you can hear the washer and dryer going off. I'm washing. But today, on November the 6th, we have my October wrap-up. I have not done a wrap-up video in such a long time, but I read so many good books in October, so I was like, let's do a wrap-up. Now, this is about 15 books, and these 15 books do not even include all the books that I read on Kindle Unlimited, which was like another 15 books. Yeah, so, and I read a lot of short books, that's why I'm able to read so much in one month. But if I was to read a lot of longer books, or just a book be putting up and read a lot of bad books, it'll take me longer to get through books. But since I read so many good books, I read a lot of books in a month. But right now I'm just going to talk about all the physical books that I've read in the month of October. Now, if you enjoy videos like this or enjoy lifestyle content, please make sure you subscribe to your girl, because this is the type of stuff I like to put out, period. So the first book that I read, like literally read this October 1st, was a thriller, and it was The Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware. And this book was basically about a nanny. She was a living nanny. She kind of lied on her application to get the job, and when she got there, she realized a lot of stuff was off. And then at the end, some twists, turns, stuff happened. It was a big, like, to me, it was a surprise on why she tried to get the job. Personally, it was a surprise for me. But yeah, I gave that book a 4 star. It was really good, and it did shock me. Me, personally, it shocked me. Next, I read Misadventures of a Virgin. Now, this book is about 2 people that grew up in a small town. One owns a hotel chain, one owns a farm. Turns out their dads does not like each other at all. But the son, he moved away after almost taking his girl virginity. Then he came back to get his farm back. And yeah, I gave it 3 stars. It wasn't the best book. Sometimes I'd be thinking like maybe I shouldn't read the Misadventures series anymore because some of them really suck. But I think it depends on the writer, and I still like this one as much as I have like previous ones. So yeah, that was that. Then I read from my favorite author, or one of my favorite authors, Christina C. Jones, and this is Unfinished Business. And this is a part 2 of the first book. I can't remember what that one's called, but basically the couple in this book, they end up with kid at the end of the first book, and this is just them. You find out in this book that they did break up, and it's single parenting, co-parenting, and they're trying to work out their reasonings for no longer being together, basically. And I did give this a 5 stars. Really, really, really good. Of course, Christina C. Jones. Now, next I read Bet on It by Jodie Slaughter. This book was actually so good. Not only did it have mental health awareness in this book, but also plus size queen, period. But basically this book was about 2 people. She suffered from panic attacks. He just had all types of mental illness, and also had panic attacks along with depression. Also, it's hard for her to connect to people and actually open up and be friends with people. So yeah, they just connect in that sort of way. They help each other out with those issues, and it's a cute story. I did give it a 4 star. Now, next I read Kendra Elliott. Now, if you have watched my video before or watched my book videos before, y'all know she is the reason I got started on BookTube, and became engrossed in this world of just reading outside of Wattpad, because all I used to do is read Wattpad since middle school. I've read like 600, 700 books on Wattpad, literally from middle school through high school. And then I started reading physical books and books by actual authors, and she's the reason for it. So I did pick her up again. I literally haven't read anything from her since January of 2021. That's when I started my BookTube journey. And I decided to pick her up again because, oh my gosh, and she did not disappoint. I gave this a 5 star. This is The Last Sister. It's about these 3 sisters who all encounter their father's death at the same time in different ways, and all lied about it, basically. But it was so good. So good. Kendra Elliott, she knows what she's doing, okay? She knows what she's doing, period. Next, I read a trilogy by C.M. Stunich, and y'all know I love her because she writes a lot of reverse harem stories. Reverse harem is one of my favorite tropes. Absolutely love reverse harem stories. It just gives you more love stories into one. I don't know how to describe it, but first of all, these books are thick, but I read and enjoyed all three of them. So first we have I Was Born Ruined, then I Am Dressed in Sin, and then I Was Built, or I was revealed in glory. And this was the thickest one. Oh my gosh. Now personally, I think these two books could have been shorter. I don't think that, especially this one, I don't think it needed to be that long, personally. But this one, I did get 5 stars, and I gave these two 4 stars. They were really, really good. It's just about this girl whose father was the president of a motorcycle club, and one day rival clubs end up killing her only 2 sisters. So she turned a whole new leaf, became this depressed child who hated the world, hated everyone, hated her father, hated her mother. She hated everyone. And then she had these 4 bodyguards who she kind of had something with all 4 of them. Like all 4 of them took her virginity at different times and didn't know about it type shit in one night. And then 2 years later, she reconnects with all 4 of them, and their story blooms. Okay, really, really good series. He literally doesn't disappoint me. C.M. Stunich is that girl. If you haven't read anything by her, I definitely recommend picking her up. Okay, and if not, if reverse harem is your thing, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe give it a try. I don't know what to tell you. So the next book that I did read was The Wedding Date by Jasmine Guillory. Yeah, I finally picked up, finally got my hands on this book. This is the first book in her series. I did give this a 4 stars. It was actually really, really good. It's about these 2 people who meet in an elevator at a hotel. The guy asks her to be his fake date to a wedding, and things blossom from there. This was such a cute, nice story, and I cannot wait to read the full series because it was so good. The only problem is I cannot find the second book in the series, and I definitely want to read it in order, even though they're interconnected standalones. But I want to read them all in order, so I cannot find the second book. But once I find it, I'm going to give it a read because it was so good, and I am in love with Jasmine Guillory now. So yeah. Next, I did read another thriller, and I did give this a 4 star as well, y'all. I read a lot of good books this month, okay? 4 or 5 stars across the board. But I did read False Witness by Karen Slaughter. Now this one, she was good, okay? She was literally so good. This is about this woman who, when she was a kid, she had to cover up. She had to do a lot of things to cover up something that her sister was involved in. And then the son of the person she covered it up for ended up coming back because he was just like his father. I'm trying to give away spoilers, but basically, it's about covering up a death and then coming back and biting you in the booty, okay? To put it shortly and to put it mildly. But it was so good, okay? So good. It had me trembling in my boots. I had nightmares, okay? I was terrified every night after reading this. It took me like 3 days to finish this story. And oh my gosh, okay? That's all I can say is, oh my gosh. So, yeah. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Lastly, as far as physical, books are falling. Okay, lastly, as far as physical books, oh my gosh, that I read in October that were really, really good was another series, and it's a 4-book series about sisters, and it was this series by Carla Sorensen. Y'all, I love her. I read one other of her series, or I guess it was a trilogy. Was that a trilogy? I think so. But I read that, and it's about one of those couples' kids. So this was, first book was Focus, and then you have Faked, then you have Floored, and then you have Forbidden. focus was about the oldest daughter who ended up having to participate and be involved in this TV show type thing for her job with her neighbor who she snuck into his in her father's in her guardian's story. I'm gonna call her their guardian because they wasn't their mother and father, but it's complicated. So in the Guardians book, in the other series, the older daughter snuck into the neighbor's home, climbed on his lap, and tried to have sex with him. She was 16, he was 19, or something like that. And yeah, he ended up coming back in time. He was a famous football player. These are sports romances. But he was a famous football player. And he ends up coming back home, playing for his home team, who she works for. And they have to work together. It's about them finding their way back together after many, many years passed. I think it was like 11, 12 years since the incident happened. And yeah, they're trying to find their way back to each other. Really good. I did give this 5 stars. And then the second book was about one of the twins. So these 2 books are about twins, the 2 twins that are youngest. So this one's about Claire. She ends up swapping places with her sister. They did a twin swap to go to this gala with the other twins' best friend, but the best friend ended up getting sick, so his stepbrother stepped in, and anyone knew who was who when they went on this gala, but they had the fake date. They ended up really, really liking each other. So yeah, also 5 stars. Then Floyd is about Leah, the other twin sister. She ends up going to study abroad in the UK or something like that, and sleeps with a famous soccer player while she's there. Also, in Fate, the guy's sport he played was snowboarding, I think. Yeah, something like that. And this one is a famous soccer player in the UK, or what they call football out there, and she sleeps with him one night stand and gets pregnant. Favorite trope. I love pregnancy, single parent, one parent tropes. So bad. I know people don't like them, but I love them so bad. I love kids. 5 stars as well. And then the last book in this series was Forbidden, and this is about the second oldest sister, Isabel. Isabel works at a gym, the manager of a boxing gym, and her manager ends up selling the place and giving it to an old famous MMA fighter. So that's his sport. He was a fighter, and he ends up taking over, and turns out she's had a crush on him. It is a bit of an age gap. They have a 10-year age gap between them. She had a major crush on him when he first started. He used to write him letters, so she was kind of swooped when he ended up coming on and taking over the place that she worked. But they end up really, really loving each other, and guess what, y'all? He's a single dad. Single parent trouble. I love that, okay? So yeah, really good series. I did give all 4 books 5 stars because they were so good, okay? Period. But that is all the books all the physical books that I have read in October, y'all. Like I said, I had a really, really good reading month. Next, I will talk about all my recent KU reads. I did this like a month, almost 2 months ago, I guess. I did a video on all my recent KU reads, and so it's been a while, and I have a lot more books that I read since that video. So these technically won't be books I read in October on KU. These be books I read like August, September on KU. Yeah, it's been a minute since I did a KU video, but I'm trying to catch up. I'm trying to do these more frequently so it won't be so many books that I have to catch on and talk about. But yeah, if you did like this video and you made it all the way to the end, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to your girl. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.